Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So we finally have some new content as Dragonflight returns, a bit reworked. Many of you might not even know of this event, as beforehand you actually had to spend Zen to be able to activate it through purchasing these bells. Now you will very simply be able to go and head to your stronghold, and the NPC just here on the right before going in, this traveling wizard will give you a quest every day. We can see that as we have it in our stronghold right here, a matter of dragons, where you defeat a Dragonflight dragon, and with that you can also obtain some pretty decent rewards, specifically for newer players. But when you have enough people in your guild, I believe you need just 5 or more, you can go and spend 2,500 guild marks now to activate Dragonflight, just as we do here. And we can run through this entire run for you guys and show you what it now entails. It's very similar to how it was before, just with some updated mechanics. Now, before we jump into things, you can indeed actually obtain some new updated rewards, and we can see that here in the reinforced Dragonflight gear. You have all of this stuff here, which I don't see anybody using except really new players, which totally is an option, because if you're going into Dragon Hunts, you may as well have a bit of gear beforehand, and this stuff is nowhere near the best, but it can be useful with additional maximum hit points and additional power. Aside from that, the visuals do look pretty unique. Otherwise, we do have a whole new set of rings here, and we can scan through each and every one of them. There's a lot. A bunch of purple ones too, and some shirt and pants. The shirts seem to give that bonus of Survivor's Rush to give you 5% extra recharge speed as your health decreases to a maximum of 5% when you're dead. And then the shirt will give you 5,000 power when your stamina is over 75%. And then if I quickly scan through the rings, this Gladiator's Dragonflight ring looks pretty decent, increasing your crit severity to a maximum of 5%, depending on your current hit points. And additionally, one which will increase your accuracy by 5%, depending on your current hit points. So maximum 5% when you're full HP, which is good. Another tit for tat ring. So those of you who have terrible daily powers could go and use this for the 3% extra damage to at-wills and encounters. And really that's about it. I don't see any of these other rings being any good. When you're moving or standing still, you gain some benefits for 6 seconds, and otherwise a bunch of rings that just give ratings. Pretty sad on that front, but there are 2 rings that are useful. Again, the 5% accuracy one and the 5% crit severity one. Additionally, we have a new adventure, Rothe Valley, with a new companion and a new artifact set. I'll go a little bit more in depth on those after we discuss Dragonflight. So Dragonflight, you will have to make your way to 4 different locations on the map to kill 4 of the different dragons. You have a whole minute to get there before your dragon will spawn, and oh yeah, the overloads actually got a little bit of a visual rework. So we get our dragon spawning in here, and this one is the red dragon. So they have mechanics very similar to now the ancient dragons. So I would highly recommend you get at least a party of 10. We managed to do it with 8 people, but many of them are pretty maxed out, like myself, so we deal pretty decent damage. But it's a DPS check. You need to get each and every one of those 4 dragons. You can see the names under the map there. You need to get each and every one of them down to 0%. You need to kill them, but you need to kill them all at the same time. So either you'll split off in just 4 groups of 5 and each kill your own dragon, but alternatively you can all group up like we do on one dragon, get him really low like we do with this red one, and then we go ahead and leave him. But we leave like 1 DPS person. Well, after we move to the next dragon, you can see on the map here, we just killed red, which is top left. We have blue, top right, green, bottom right, and black, bottom left. So we make our way over to blue. Again, similarly, just reducing his HP down. Same mechanics as with an ancient blue dragon. Just doesn't tend to use too many of the mechanics, but does have some of them. You can see those kind of green areas of the lightning there, and otherwise they do have that flying mechanic, as this guy's just doing here, which does mean he will knock you about a lot more if you're the aggravator, so do recommend having a tank. So we get that blue dragon down, and then we simply leave him again, but this time we are leaving 1 person going back to red, and one person we're leaving on blue. Their DPS, so they can kill it. And here we approach green. We still have to get his HP down. We still have him on full, and we still have black on full. So again, we just burn him down. Green seems to be the most annoying if you don't have a healer, because he will deal damage over time. You can see the 330k damage ticks that we are taking, or 33k damage ticks. It's not a whole lot. You can definitely out heal it with a Stone of Health, and even for me just having the aggro there for the first, let's say, 15 seconds of the fight, it wasn't too much trouble. They don't seem to have any of the tank mechanics like the bitings. They could very well increase the difficulties on these. I would recommend that they do so, but again, the gear really isn't something special in terms of endgame gear competitiveness with actual Ancient Dragon Hunts, so I don't see this gear really needing to be difficult to obtain. So I think the difficulty level is fairly okay, but again, we get that green dragon nice and low, and then we head off to go and finally kill this black dragon. Now you will note you are actually scaled. I just opened my character sheet here, and we're scaled down to 60,000 item level. It's not that low, but it's still annoying, but it makes it so that they can balance the difficulty a little bit better. And I can see why they do. Potentially, as a new player, you will get scaled up to 60,000, so you can still somewhat help out your teammates killing these dragons as part of your guild. Hopefully that is the case, and thus the reason for the scaling down in the first place. So killing the black dragon again isn't too much trouble. Now, be warned, he again does have Ancient Dragon mechanics, so he will actually spawn a clone of himself. You can see that on the right there, who will fear you and daze you, which can be annoying. You can't do anything, you can only run away. And here's going to stun me again because I was still looking at that black shadow dragon while he did that mechanic. Anyway, you can see on the right side there, we've got each of the dragons pretty low. We have one on 2%, another on 2%, and another on 4%. We need to get the black dragon killed before that 2-minute timer is up. We have 1 minute and 47 seconds left. However, we can gain 1 minute of extra time by killing one of the dragons. What happens when you kill one dragon? Then you go into a 1 minute timer, and if you fail to kill all within 1 minute, then you essentially fail your Dragonflight and don't get any rewards. So we've got this guy down to about 20%, and we kill off one of the other dragons. We're on a voice chat and we order them to kill one of the dragons, and you can see we'll get another whole minute left to kill this guy off. You can see they've gone and killed the other dragons as well, and it's just black left, and we have time remaining of 50 seconds. We should be able to do this. See all those mechanics he's putting out there, the red areas, etc. You're still gonna have to dodge quite a lot to avoid getting CC'd, but we finally we finish off black, and that is Dragonflight finished. We completed it. Now, upon completing it, you can go and head back to your traveling wizard. Now, unfortunately, to my dismay, I did not have the quest that the traveling wizard would give you, so I didn't get any rewards from that whatsoever. The reason being is I never did my introductory quest to the Stronghold, talking to this guy, meet with the team, and then simply going to speak with the rest of the NPCs here. We just answer their question marks there. Once you've spoken to each of them, we then head back to this guy, completing that quest, and then we gain the next Stronghold routine quest. And now we can see the traveling wizard is indeed giving us that gold quest, a matter of dragons. So make sure you at least complete your introductory quest to be able to get this quest from this guy, to be able to get Fangs of the Dragonflight, which will give you rewards. And so the main reward from Dragonflights will be, when you look at this guy, these Dragonflight surprise bags. Every day when you complete the daily quest, you obtain one of these. And you can see it'll just give you a random chance at the following of rough Acyl diamonds, random dragon parts, level 20 Dragonflight gear, mount, or companion. Now, when we look in the collections, additionally, we can see we can get a new artifact set, which contains the Draconic Essence artifact, along with the Dragon Blood clasp and the Dragon Blood charm. Unfortunately, just looking at the set, when you use all three pieces, giving Draconic Essence of only 3% forte is very underwhelming. Again, this all seems orientated largely to newer players who don't have much gear at all. This would give them a little bit of a boost. Unfortunately, the artifact doesn't seem like anything special either. They've kind of missed their chance to make another token of Chromatic Storm in my opinion, but it seems it'll just deal a whole bunch of damage, and that's about it. Speaking to this merchant just here, we can see he has a Dragonflight section, and this is where you will spend those fangs of Dragonflight to obtain this new 1400 gear. Again, it's very underwhelming gear. All it's giving you as a bonus when you have a 3 of a set is power and maximum hit points. You can just run with 2 and gain maximum hit points. But again, it's not gear I would run with at all. Simply just get it for the visuals. It can look pretty neat. It is a bit wacky on the rogue there, but potentially on other classes it looks a bit better. But that's about it with what you will spend your Dragonflight fangs on. You need 24 for a piece of gear, 36 for the armor piece. That is quite a significant amount. But with that, with my allies being able to complete that quest, they have indeed gotten some of this new gear. Upon completing it, you get a drop chance at these rings, these shirt and pants, the gear just for fashion, and the rings, unfortunately, just about this crit severity is good and this accuracy one is good. The rest seem pretty underwhelming when you already have maxed out mythic stuff from the new Dragon Hunts, along with some from the Vault of Stars or even your Band of Air. Additionally, we do have a new adventure coming, which is going to be Rothe Valley. Pretty neat. Bunch of tasks you just have to complete, and you can obtain ultimately the rewards here of some companion upgrade tokens. That's great, they're giving those as some rewards, along with, as you can see here, Little White, which is a new spider companion. It has its utility power of incoming healing, critical avoidance, and movement speed, and this effect being doubled in the Underdark. It'll definitely make its uses, and potentially I'll run this as on my tank for the Demogorgon trial. Otherwise, its stats, it is actually an augment companion, surprisingly. Crit strike, critical avoidance, and incoming healing. Sadly, not exactly focusing on either offense or defensive stats, so I don't really see it being used. It's not competitive with my cat on my tank, and not competitive with my Owlbear Cub or Icosahedron Ion Stone, just by giving stats I actually need. And then with perfect vision there, of course, and we can see just you will gain 1 boon point, I believe, and 100k rough astral diamonds. And otherwise, hats off to Cryptic Studios for actually doing it. They introduced an NPC called Wickid to commemorate his passing. He was a very helpful person for the Neverwinter community. You will gain a title upon just speaking to him there, and you can read throughout the information that he can give you, which is very nice again, especially for newer players who perhaps don't know most of this information. The title again is Wickid Helpful. But overall, that's it for the look into the new content. Again, it's not going to be a new module or anything. It's just a bit of a rework for Dragonflight, introducing some new rewards that you can definitely pick up there. Hopefully it'll bring a bit of hype and a bit of activity to Strongholds again. Definitely will help out the more newer players. I will pick up a few of the rewards here and there, but not something I'm overly gonna grind just for the sake of those rewards. They don't have much in any way competitive to what we currently have, at least from Ancient Dragons. So again, I'd like to give a massive thank you to all of these channel members for helping me keep my channel going. And if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.